let's pause that music. See if everybody's good to go. Yeet. Alright. Gotta mention it because we've been doing best of 7s here and there. But we got a best of 5 because it's week 1 of CPL in the 2v2 action for this season. But you're looking at GC1 to GC2 tier with Spartan Storm in blue, Sealing Demons in orange. And like we said, week 1 is the very beginning of the season. Also our first CPL cast of the season as well, this Sunday. But so far, we are scoreless, as we're going to call him Muffin because that's what we know him by. But Muffin as boss. And he's going to try and force a challenge. Gravy to the side. And Seg can't get a touch there. And tough angle. Gravy almost gets there. Muffin in a tough spot. Almost getting demoed on the retreat. But defense is locked down. And Gravy can't get a touch. Quick turn from Muffin, though, to cover. And looking to form something. Gets a bump. But Gravy wisely has to take caution. And what's going on, Dooms? How you doing after that week 1 victory? But Segnir had a nice pop, but it did get away from him. Was threatening, and Gravy can't put that through. Muffin trying to force something. And this first goal still eluding both teams. You know, once it happens, things might just break off. And giving up possession, Seg all over it. Nice play, nice challenge, good patience, and a little bit of space. We always talk about it, and in 2s especially. That's time for something to strike, but a miscue. However, good recovery. What a save. Doom, you're hoping to play need redemption. But big clear out as we're getting closer to halftime. Only a 1-score difference. And Gravy, low boost, but I like the pressure. Continued on. Trying to force something. And that's going to be hit to the side. An extra touch from Gravy. Well, Muffin is up. Trying to get a pinch by one. But still can't crack through this good defense from Sealing Demons. Taking to the air, almost has a flip reset, but causes a double commit. They gotta recover and back and forth. Might be tough for Sealing Demons to know who's actually taking the ball. But Muffin can't get the extra touch. He's looking for it, and pinch. Coming through. And that's gonna be beat out. That should be an open net, but hit wide. And we might have a scoring chance. Gravy hits it off to the side. And you would like to see some possession gain. They had the 2v1 advantage. And that's huge in 2s. It's all about possession and making the most of it. But Gravy is waiting a little bit wide. Nice pass from Muffin. And they tie it up with 123 seconds left. But 50. Now Muffin, a little bit awkward. Gravy has to recover. That's just shot, but wide. And Spartan Storm, very fortunate as they did create an opportunity in the corner. You know where shots are mostly going to come by. That corner can be devastating. But trying to get another touch. Seg blocked by Gravy. Nice challenge, and smartly goes for the bump. And Muffin, the backflip, it almost works as one faked, perhaps, but they had defense in tow, and pass back to Gravy, who's up again, and good reaction, but great demo. And can he get back? No, that's down the middle. And another important thing, demo on the rotation. It can be key, but certainly different than threes. More time to do things, but more strategy, more impact on possession and demos. And 13 seconds left. Muffin just trying to put one last shot. That's kind of hung around. And Gravy just going to blast it. But that's going to do it for game number 1. Stealing Demons take it. Overall, a close one. Low scoring. And certainly magnifying, you know, what possession you get, because it didn't come by a whole lot. Where are we going? Forbidden Temple. I almost forgot. Alright, we are good. So, gonna be interesting about Rocket League. Supposedly in the future, we'll get auto skip, which I always liked from Bacchus Mod. And we're gonna get, I guess, a goal scorer POV from the replays. So, that's gonna be interesting for a caster's help or point of view. But game 2 is here. Spartan Storm certainly want to get on the board for the series, and they are applying some good pressure to start. So with pressure, got to be careful not pushing up too much, but Gravy monster, a nice extra effort, and that flip just flying them by. They score first. Spartan Storm don't take too much time to take the first goal. Oh, Gravy moving it down. Avoids the bump, but does not get the boost. And Death Troop. A few touches here and there. And gets a demo. But what a pinch. Muffin has a demo in his own right. A nice pass to Gravy. Has a whole lane to shoot. A great pass coming from the corner. Gets the demo, boost, and then kicks it out. And that is just a great play overall. But here we get to see some interesting kickoffs as well in twos. And almost capitalizes. As Muffin, not sure how that play would go. It does maintain possession. But good challenge. Wasn't quite locked in onto the car for Sealing Demons. Muffin up a little too far forward. Looking for the forward pass. Muffin is going to be waiting mid. Hoping Gravy could push it out and can't. This could be a counter, and it is. And we've seen that positioning from Muffin. Sometimes in trouble, he pushed up too much. And Sealing Demons, they do know how to get a good counter attack. There is more evidence, but that should be wide open as Ceiling Demons split apart. And you see the pressure there. It's like, had to make a decision, hits it out the wall, and that likely means a shot incoming, unless you have a teammate ready. Gravy, gonna be wide. And that's not gonna hit the mark either. But possession given up. Muffin gets a pop. Gravy can take advantage of this, rips it, and a nice shot. Quick and high. And that just worked out. Muffin just driving forward, and it pops for him instead of past him. And we're getting close to halftime. Spartan Storm, a favorable lead, up by 3. And certainly a good response from this one, but Death Troop has a nice one-on-one advantage. Well, so I couldn't get the demo, the right play trying to make, but overall, good 1v1 chance. What are these team names? Well, Spartan Storm is part of our org, but we're casting, non-biased. As Gravy puts that through, good outlet to the side. Gravy waiting, nice redirect. But yeah, Spartan Storm is, that's where that's from. Ceiling Demons. Yeah, I don't know the backstory on Ceiling Demons. Can't provide that for you. But yeah, both teams are, you know, part of this league of CPL in GC1-GC2. And Death Troop, it's had a decent game so far. But they're still down by 2. Clearly the offense coming from him for Ceiling Demons. Hey, what's going on, Calorie Destroyer? Thanks for the follow on Twitch. And it says, go Segsy. As Gravy trying to push it forward. But Death Troop trying to provide the pass, almost concludes that with a goal. But saved out from Gravy Monster. And, oh no! That just falls through. A little bit of bump action, fake action. And he does get the bump, actually. Bump in all sorts of ways. As Spartan Storm keen to tie up the series. But certainly not a deadlock like we saw game 1 of low scoring. Although a little miscue from Spartan Storm. Now Death Troop doing all he can, low boost, and good control, honestly. As he's moving on along, Seg might have a chance. That's saved. And now going all the way back. Cuts it to the other side. And gets the flip. And awkward touch from Muffin. But they have the numbers to collect. You see more of that passing working. Muffin doing a good job feeding Gravy in good spots. 30 seconds left. Little time for some momentum. Ultimately, Spartan Storm looked to take this one. However, Ceiling Demons trying to get a last goal as they could possibly bring it to the next game and recover. They did take game 1, obviously faltering on this one, and so series will be deadlocked. And there it is, the 1v1 chance. He is lethal. Death Troop does get the goal, carry into game 3, sorry, but they're going to be looking for the second win. Match point. Now, who is it going to be? We've seen solid performances from both sides now. But we are going to DFH Stadium 10th anniversary next. But big game 3 to break through, as we've had 2 games to see how this series is coming alive. But deadlock, and gonna be interesting, as now Ceiling Demons has had a loss. How will they respond to that? So trying to move it on. Does get it by 1. Now Death Troop wanted to control, and smart demo on him. Don't want that 1v1 chance. And Gravy, a nice little flick, putting it through. And cuts it the other way. Yeah, like that misdirection. But big goal for Spartan Storm and Gravy as they take the lead in game 3. But Ceiling Demons only down by 1. Can they recover? Gravy hitting it wide and touched by Def. And it's gonna try and stay on the ceiling. Muffin can't quite continue it on. Gravy hanging around, being a nuisance. And now Death Troop quick off the backboard, no one home. Although Gravy, good recovery coming back. And usually hits the backboard without a player there, and that's gonna spell trouble. A lot of time ticking off. Muffin trying to control. Gravy reaching. Death Troop going real high in the air. Flip reset by 1 into the net. And somebody stop him. Took that very high. Gets the flip reset. And it has a tight angle. What a goal. Ceiling Demons tie it up. And you know, almost a kickoff goal that can do some damage. Can Muffin recover on this? Going on a counter. And that is the pain of a counter in 2s. But Death Troop gonna do his magic. Muffin there with the block, and unfortunate play as Muffin can just go forward. So can't get a touch there, and Spartan Storm increase their lead to 2. But there we have a save from Seg. And Death Troop gonna try some more magic. He adds the angle, but it's a light touch, and Muffin can scoop it up in the last second. Nice bump in from Seg. However, no one's on the ball, and Muffin can come through. It's a rough sequence. That's the tough part about bumping on the rotation back. Your teammate still is not going to be sure when they could go unless it's clear cut. And Gravy in a shot from the left side. As Spartan Storm up by 4. Death Troop might have an open net, and Gravy just enough of a touch, hit the crossbar out. I thought that one was going to be in. 2 minutes ago, and Muffin Shanks it a little bit, so does Gravy, and they have 2 missed opportunities there. And Gravy being chased down. That troop can't put it to mid. But high pop. Muffin looks awkward. He does do his best to hang with it. And that is tough for Muffin, as if he got demo there, you know he would have been sad. As he did get that strong touch given away. But trying to recover there. Can't make it happen. But flip reset, and Death Troop at it again. But 2 converge. Muffin trying to get it over to mid, but that's going all the way back. And that troop by 1. But 45 seconds left into game 3. Spartan Storm trying to take match point and have that advantage. So they did drop game 1, but since then have really ramped things up. Game 1 was a low-scoring affair. But giving up, Seg all over that one. Nice goal for Ceiling Demons. Applying the pressure. 18 seconds left, though. Might be not enough time. Although kickoff goals certainly help. But that's a good clear. Even better, it's moving forward. So there's that security goal. And Spartan Storm, yeah, say they're pretty well locked to take game 3. Now heading into game 4, what's gonna happen? Just Ceiling Demons really need to lock in, but we have to say I'm pretty certain whoever scores first has gone on to take the game. So before we get distracted, we're going to Sovereign. That's where we're going. But yeah, it's definitely tough playing down. You certainly get some momentum when you're up. It's easier to play, easier to compound on that momentum. However, I feel like if you score too much too early, that's prone for a comeback. I don't know why, but as Rocket League for you, I guess sometimes you get comfortable, a little too comfortable. Gravy wise to take his time and gets deleted as a heat-seeking missile. As a demo coming after him. Muffin trying to protect it in front, and Gravy. Nice touch there. Perfect timing if you're Spartan Storm. But Muffin covering the top. And Gravy just getting a touch as Spartan Storm up 1. They do strike first, so gonna be interesting to see if the theory holds as Muffin adds another. But 4 minutes, 20 seconds left. Gravy, big challenge. And really, we could say massive challenge. He's able to capitalize with a goal. Gets the beat on 2 players. And adding another. Spartan Storm really putting it all together. Looking dangerous. And they've only increased their skill and effort since game 1. But quick shot just by, and Muffin taking that one. Hit into the corner, tough to get a read on, and up by 4. Now, Ceiling Demons certainly have a lot of work ahead of them. And Gravy almost putting that through. Instead, we might have a goal on the counter, and you kind of have to respect it. Hey, thank you so much for the bits, Krusty. I don't know, you always have bits. It's insane. But yeah, with that shot, you have to respect it, because if that goes in, really putting the downer for Ceiling Demons. But instead, look at what has become. Imagine if that's the deciding factor in this comeback. That would be devastating. It could have been 5-0. Instead, we're 4-2, and suddenly more life for Ceiling Demons. Cut the lead by 2, and yeah, 3 minutes 25 seconds left is plenty of time, and got Troop trying to control it here, but can't quite get a lock on that. But what is going on, Krusty? Hope you're doing well tonight. And let's give a shout out to CPL owner and many things, especially owner of KCG and all their teams and all that they do. But while we have everyone here, you might as well respect as Gravy. What a touch. Might as well give some respect and love to the sponsors on the top left. You may have not noticed, but yeah, top left, those are our sponsors. They make this league happen with the prize pools. So big shout out to those fine folks. But 6-2, Spartan Storm up by 4 as we venture onto halftime. Spartan Storm, a little bit threatened here. Ceiling Demons trying to cut the lead again. But at this point, what do they do? How do they break through? And certainly, there's been some mistakes from Spartan Storm. Ceiling Demons have to capitalize on the numbers. And we're getting closer to 2 minutes. Death Troop has a big beat. Seg feels the pressure. Almost getting demoed. Back and forth. You like how they're trying to pass, but sometimes it doesn't quite work. And it's like a ping pong ricocheting off. But yet again, Ceiling Demons taking advantage of the counter. And we talked about their ability to counter has been huge in the series. Death Troop. Good control. Seg trying to put it far left. But Gravy there for the save just in time. And almost has the pinch on the side of his car. Seg trying to move it across, and that was going in, but just enough of a touch from Gravy, who has yet another crucial save. But big demo, that's in. A long clear. Segnier beaten out and throwing it downfield, and 4-6, 1 minute 7 seconds left. Although going high, Gravy opts to keep it low. And every time Sealing Demons get closer to tying things up, Spartan Storm come through with a clutch security goal. As Gravy wisely uses a little more time to get in front of that one. Not challenging badly. But Muffin, forward challenge. Trying to feed it to the mid. And Gravy just hovering around. Gets a challenge while he's in the corner. And bump at the midfield. Can Duck Troop recover quick with it? And what a play. You see, little off kilter, but nice recovery. Couple wave dashes and quick shot. And they still have the ability to hang around. And you got to give them credit for that. All right, Death Troop. Oh my goodness. What a special talent Death Troop is. And putting it all on display. Within one. That's a very good goal you'll see this week 1. Segnir. Gotta be careful. Does his best to hang in front of it. It's a little risky in front of your net. But big demo. Death Troop does tie it up. And just a monumental effort. Segnir paving the way. And we are tied 7-7. Sealing Demons. They're trying to bring it to game 5. Uh-oh. Could have the advantage. Death Troop. It's tough. It stays on the ground. Probably didn't want to put it on his card to be too obvious. But there, that time ticks away. And can't get a touch. Now Muffin threatening, faking. Segnir is there, though, to cover. And high pop. That Troop wants another. And it's going to kind of hang around. But Spartan Storm have to watch the double commits. That's going up high. Big beat by Muffin. Segnir can't get a touch. Gravy just has to play it calm. But Segnir, what a save. Gravy had some time to shoot. And Muffin can't get the flipper set to turn around. But gonna hang. That Troop a little bit in trouble. And once again, Segnir there to help out. And going to the side. A demo coming through. And Gravy has to feel that demo coming up behind him. But big 50. Muffin sees it and attacks. And Death Troop couldn't quite turn around. Segnir a little bit off. And Spartan Storm clutch it in OT. As congrats to Spartan Storm for the victory. But big shout out to Sealing Demons as well for showing up. Putting on a heck of an effort. And overall a good show for both teams. But once again, congrats to Spartan Storm for taking this week 1 victory and our first CPL cast in week 1 on this Sunday. But yeah, we might as well do a prediction. No one voted, but for the display, if you voted Spartan Storm, you are victorious.